Are we on?
We are on. We are on. What is up, Austin? How are you doing, my dude?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Josiah?
I'm doing all right as well. Doing all
Well,
right
now
as
that we've
well.
gotten our names out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are the
Super. Sa-na-na-na-na, super. Sa-na-na-na-na, super. Sa-na-na-na-na, my brothers. Super Sanana brothers. Brothers.
oh my goodness, we are the Super Cinema Bros. What we are is who we are. It's what we do. Is what we do. It's who we be. They don't know. Da-da-da-da. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing this
Man,
evening?
hopefully you guys are
We are
doing
here
well.
for the final movie review, live stream movie review of the year of 2025.
Wow.
Goodness.
Final one of the year. We'll be
Final one
back.
of the year. Here
But
we
as for
go.
right now, we are here today to talk about Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. In select theaters at a certain point in time, but I don't think it is anymore. It is on Netflix, and I
Yeah,
watched it on the Netflix as they wanted it, as it
as
was
did I.
foretold. So it shall be. Okay, now that we got all these reintroductions of all of ourselves back and done, let me give a let me take another hack at a synopsis of the film, brought to you by, as always, the AI overlords. Yeah, brother. Yeah. All right. Wake Up Dead Man. A Knives Out mystery follows Judd Duplessis, a former boxer turned Catholic priest who was reassigned to a struggling rural parish in upstate New York after an incident involving a rude deacon. At Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude, Judd serves under Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, whose controversial preaching style has driven away most of the congregation. The church itself carries a troubled history involving Wicks' grandfather and a mysterious missing fortune. When some things happen during a Good Friday service, evidence points towards our main character, Judd, the former boxer. He finds himself as the prime suspect in a case that threatens to destroy what remains of his holy calling. The film explores the tension between justice and forgiveness as renowned private detective Benoit Blanc arrives to investigate the murder and recruits Judd to assist him. Confident in the priest's innocence, as the mystery deepens with shocking developments and multiple deaths, the story examines fundamental questions about faith, redemption, and whether true justice requires punishment or grace. Set against the backdrop of a small town church community with deep secrets and buried resentments, the narrative delves into how the pursuit of worldly treasure can corrupt spiritual institutions, and whether forgiveness is possible even in the face of calculated betrayal. The film challenges viewers to consider what it means to offer grace to those who least deserve it, and whether some sins are too great to absolve. Wake up, dead man.
All right.
For your guys' listening pleasure, I omitted a few details. Yes, our AI overlords are still in the business of spoiling a little bit of things here and there. That said, what is a synopsis but a summary that spoils the first third of a movie, typically, right?
Kind of. Yeah. All right. So let's give our spoiler free kind of general 30,000 feet above
Mm-hmm.
bird's eye view. And then we can kind of get into what we liked and what we didn't like.
Yeah. Austin, hit us with your speed run, please.
Right. So it's the end of the year, and think think God has truly blessed us with this movie. So thankful that this movie was made. And I'm thankful primarily for one reason. This film directed Ryan, and
Oh,
I'm so thankful that Ryan Johnson has decided to direct this series of movies. He the Knives Out movies are his babies. The series is his baby,
indeed.
and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so, God has been so kind and so generous, so compassionate, and so considerate of his creation, us image bearers, allowing Ryan Johnson to direct these movies. And the reason why it's so good that Ryan Johnson is directing Knives Out movies is for the simple fact that if Ryan Johnson is directing Knives Out movies, if he's directing Knives Out movies, then that means that he is not directing Star Wars movies. Oh, praise the Lord.
Oh, praise. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, wow.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shalabachancha, halabachan, pantaladata.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We need an interpreter right in here. He's saying, oh, man, Ryan Johnson's
Would you
not
look at the
touching anything
Lord?
at all.
Would you look at the Lord? Won't he do it? Would you look at God? Won't he do it?
We never doubted. We never doubted. That's what faith is. Never doubting, right? That's exactly what it is. No, it's not. Oh, okay. It's
Bara Mitsubishi Shirabarahanda. Bara Mitsubishi Shirabarahanda Alabakosha.
he's saying this almost completely absolves the crimes that he committed on Star Wars, but not fully. This man has been absolved of a quarter of his sins to the Star Wars franchise, but he's gonna make 5 more movies, and by that point, hopefully, he will have completely redone it. But now he's on the right path. That's what he was just saying. Just translate for you guys.
Oh, praise the Lord. Oh, oh,
I do unfortunately have to
oh,
say he did speak about Star Wars once again in this film though. I spoilers out.
oh no.
Spoilers out.
No. No, we don't need to. Don't worry about that. Oh, would you look at the Lord, what the
Oh
Lord has
man,
done.
this is such a perfect speed run right there. Oh yeah. Amazing.
All right. So what did you think about the film, Josiah?
Man, I don't know if I can follow that up too well, but I'll give it a bit of a shot. All right. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, filmed by Ryan Johnson, as was just stated a few moments ago. This is the third movie in the franchise, and it is exactly what you expect out of the franchise. If you are on board, and you've been on board within the last 2 movies, you're getting more of what you wanted. It's gone in a different direction than the last movie. The last movie was, let's jump into the crazy island high society, sort of uber rich kind of area, and see what happens in the lives of those debaucherous elite. This movie very much goes in the opposite direction. It chooses to head into a parish, head into a Catholic. No,
Diocese.
I mean, it's not. Yeah. We get a little bit of the Catholic experience in this film, and I will say a lot of it is what do you expect to be. Josh Brolin plays a fire and brimstone um, Monsignor in this film to good effect. This movie's going to do nothing for your faith in any way, shape, or form. So it's more or less just a dressing for the story. Now, when it comes to actual mystery itself, I do have to say it's rather middle of the road. But if you are a big fan of these mystery stories, Agatha Christie, even have a little bit of interest in Daniel Craig coming from the James Bond movies, you'll probably get nothing in that regard. But if you like Daniel Craig himself, he always puts forward a fun performance as a Benoit Blanc. Um, and you like Glenn Close, you like a few different actors, fine. Movie is entertaining, but don't expect anything out of it beyond what you would have gotten, sitting at your grandma's place watching Columbo or something like that. Good time, but it's not going to blow your mind away. But yeah, I think it's a solid film within the franchise. I tend to like it more than the second film, Glass Onion. That said, there is a little bit of a bias that I have with the dressing itself within the Catholic kind of setting. But yeah, it's not going to win over any people coming from having watched. I don't know. Um, what is that film where they were choosing who the Pope was? Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about.
The
Got
two
all the
popes.
no, not the two popes. It was the one where they were choosing the Pope. Anyways, forgetting the name. It was just last year. You all remember it. You all love it. I'm sure to some degree. But yeah, movies solid. That said, yeah, this it's on the right platform. This is not something that I would have told you to go out and watch in the theaters, but at
Yeah.
home, if you're looking for the exact feels of a murder mystery with quirkiness and some dated dialogue or some dated jokes because Ryan Johnson is trying his best sometimes to be an older man than a younger man than he is. Yeah, you'll have some fun with it. Boom, Conclave. I was given it by God. No, I was given it by our lovely supporter Janobi in the live
What's
chat. Remember,
up?
guys, you all always can come and talk to us live in the live chat. We will completely derail what we're doing and what we're talking about to talk to you. Exactly. But yeah, Conclave was the movie. Knives Out. Cool film.
Okay.
Did not feel like it was a waste of
Oh,
my time.
right. Okay, so I think that covers our split free part. Now I can actually say this now. Like, if you have not seen the film yet, go ahead and pause this. Go ahead and turn on Netflix for you know roughly 2 hours or so, and then come back because we might still be talking about it. I don't know. And you can join us for a spoiler live stream movie review discussion. I say we just get right into it. So from this point on, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. From this point on, we will be discussing movie spoilers. All right.
Right?
So, what did you like about this film? More. Well, I'll just start by asking you. What things did you like about this movie?
A couple things. I liked Daniel Craig's performance. I enjoyed the performance from our main character, Judd, overall. And
I do that big old knuckles.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, big old knuckles. Look like that.
Yeah, and he had some really like flat ears. Maybe he was a fighter or something like that, and he had to have that like stuff taken out of his ears because
The
they'd be
cauliflower gunk
uh huh,
squeezed out of his ears.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably something like that. Anyways, it's a funny detail, but once you see it, you're gonna be like, why do his ears look so like flat on the inside? But yeah, anyways. you know, now you can't see it not see it anymore. That said,
Yeah.
yes, their performances I enjoyed. Um, Josh Brolin, typically enjoy him and his performances. And this isn't doing anything like way beyond what he typically does.
No.
You easily could see his performance as Thanos in this movie, um, or even
I was
his
about to say,
performance from the like Old Boy. Which don't watch that Old Boy. Go watch the Korean Old Boy,
oh, that's
anyways.
awful. Yeah. He's kind of Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
He's like, Denzel is Denzeling, Samuel L. Jackson is Samuel L. Jacksoning,
yeah,
and
it's
Josh
true.
Brolin is now at the point where he's Josh Brolining.
Yeah, I don't know if Glenn Close is Glenn Closing, but it's possible. I don't know if I've seen enough her body of works to really label her like that.
He played
But
Cruella DeVille in like the live action of 101 Dalmatians years ago,
dude, I
like
remember
before
that.
Disney started like remaking all the movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, you know what's
Um,
crazy? He's crazy. So, y'all kids out there, take note of this. When you watch somebody in a movie like right now as a kid, and then you watch them in a movie in like 20 years, you're going to be like, they look exactly the same as I remember them. Just because the difference of how you perceive adults as a kid to an adult to like an adult to an adult is crazy.
yeah,
You think everybody is way older than they are. Like Glenn Close, to me, she looks exactly like she did as Cruella Deville in this movie. But
yeah, she's been 60 for like 30 years.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
hmm
So,
yeah. Anyways, yeah. So it was the performances, and I'm a sucker for mystery stories, and it like okay. So this franchise does not really allow you to solve the mystery. I mean, some franchises do, like try and put forward basically all the information for you to be able to solve the mystery yourself. I think it goes like 60% of the way of allowing you to solve the mystery yourself. But that's all right. I mean, we're here to listen to a story. It's like sitting around the campfire and someone's telling you a fun story. That's kind of how the Knives Out movies feel to me, with a little bit of like, oh, look at this star that's in our movie, kind of like a Wes Anderson film, except yeah, it doesn't really always work for
yeah,
me.
it really does kind of have a Wes Anderson ish kind of feel to it. I would agree.
hmm Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, those are the things. Actually, I'll add one more thing. There are a handful that struck me at least of cinematographic moments that I thought were really nice. It doesn't really spoil any detail, but there's a scene, I guess a shot in particular. I don't know. Yeah, let's say a shot. There's a shot in which the Judd is like he's meeting Benoit for the first time, and it's really like dark inside the cathedral because they've met inside the cathedral, and as he is responding to Benoit's dismissal of religion, basically, he's given his own heartfelt sort of response, and the sun winds up coming, slowly through the window, and it changes the scene from dark and blue to like bright and full of warmth in the same shot. And yeah, I thought it was a nice shot. There are a number of shots where something like that happens, or at least the framing and the environment is just set up real nicely and beautifully and lit really well. I will also say there is a couple sequences near the end of the movie that are definitely seizure inducing that I could have done without, but I understand why he did it. That said, yeah, they're definitely having some fun with yeah, just making things look nice and trying some creative cinematographic techniques to enhance what's happening within the story.
Okay.
What did you like about this movie, Austin?
Um, so this is kind of something I like about movies in general, more recent movies, particularly in the last 5 years, I would say. You can really tell that they're using those RE or those red cinema cameras. And it
Mm,
creates a certain aesthetic and a look, a very modern, very clean, crisp, sharp look that I end up really enjoying.
mm,
It's like, oh yeah, I mean, this is definitely at least 4K. It may have been shot in 8K or maybe even 12K, but then like, compressed or whatever, but like it just looks really clean and really sharp. And to that point,
Mm.
I like actually in this movie in particular, I like the color palette, and okay, so I like the
Mhm.
color palette. Everybody looks really good. Like the makeup artists for all the actors, men and women, like I feel like they did an exquisite job, like almost too exquisite.
Mm,
Like
sure.
Kerry
Yeah.
Washington, Kerry Washington looked almost too perfect, too like
She looked like she
picturesque
was rolling
perfect.
out of her Scandal series or something almost.
No, well, I didn't watch that show, so I don't really have that. I don't think of her when I think of. I don't think of that show when I think of her. I know she was in
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the makeup and like she just looks like picture perfect, almost in a way that's like
Yeah.
that's part of the aesthetic of the movie.
Yeah.
Which leads me
Yeah.
to agreement with your point is
Mm.
I thought the lighting of this movie was done quite well. The
Mm.
lighting design, for those of you who don't know, like lighting is an entire field unto itself,
Mhm.
and they work very closely with the director of photography and the director to, properly light scenes. When a scene's dimly lit, when it's brightly lit, when it's somewhere in between, when there's shadows being cast.
Mm.
All of those things are meticulously decided upon before shooting starts, and they prepare all those things and they test all those things before they roll camera and call action. All those things have to be right, otherwise you're just wasting shots, or you're having to do all kinds of work in post, right?
Mm.
But I
Mm.
mean, these are all professionals, and so like there's an established process, but the
Mhm.
lighting is super super important, and so
Mhm.
this movie gets the lighting really really well. And in general, I would say that the movie moves at a pretty brisk pace. It's not okay, so I watched it in the mid-afternoon,
Yeah.
kinda nodded off, but I think that's more to do with, like, when I decided to watch it.
You watched it near 3 o'clock again.
Yeah, I had to go back. I was watching it on my laptop, and I
That's
had to kinda
fair.
go back and, like, so, I mean, I don't blame the movie for that. That's just
Nah, nah,
me
nah.
when I watched it.
Yeah.
But the movie moved at a good pace, and the developments happen quickly enough, sequentially enough to where, like,
Mhm.
it keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think those are the things that I really liked about the movie. That's pretty much where I'll leave it. I mean, I might think of something else, but, like, those are pretty much the main things. It moves at a good pace. The just like I like the new film aesthetic that filmmakers are using with these super crisp, these super high definition cinema cameras, and the lenses have never been sharper and clearer. So that I guess, the technical achievements that allow this film to look the way that it does. I really
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
And the pacing was good.
Mhm.
So,
We don't got those
um,
cameras though. We don't got the budget right now. Okay, but yeah, one
no, we're
day.
working
One
on it.
day. Yeah, one day.
Yeah. Yeah, the red double V Raptor, webcam, it's in the mail, so
Y'all probably don't want to
yeah.
see us with that much detail. It will blow your minds.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So,
We got a Matrice in the chat saying it was so good.
okay. All right,
Hmm.
well, we got through the what we like pretty quickly, so, buckle up.
Yeah,
Good to
I mean,
see Patrice.
I could even talk about more things that I like in this movie. To be honest,
Go ahead.
there's
Cut
some
it
good
cut it out a
lines.
little bit. Cut it out.
Look, I think more than not, the like Road to Damascus callback that they had in this movie worked for me. Um, oh, the child took a little bit long to put down. Yeah, totally understand that. Um, but thank you for joining us at this
Yes, we
point.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Nevertheless, we are in the spoilers section, just to throw it out. So say whatever you want to say about the movie. Everyone else that's gonna watch it is already bounced, and
We've already
they've returned
yeah,
now. So now
yes.
they've returned, and now they're in the spoilers with us. All right. Yeah. So I think Hmm. Yeah, with mystery movies, I just innately want to try and figure out and solve what's going on, and I think this one, not the first Knives Out movie. I don't think really gave nearly enough to try and solve the problem, solve the mystery. This one I think is a lot closer, so it's more satisfying in that regard. It's not enough to solve it, but I think I still wind up liking it. Yeah, I did say earlier I like this movie more than Glass Onion 2, Matrice. Um, I couldn't
You guys
exactly
liked it
put
better than
my.
Glass Onion?
I do like it better than Glass Onion. Glass Onion.
Okay.
It had some good things about it, but it's been a while since I watched it, and Edward Norton is kind of one of the actors that once I heard like a little bit about how he was outside of film, it kind of colors a little bit of how I view him while I'm watching a film, which is a bit unfair. That said, he played the character in the role that kind of fit like what maybe that should be. It was a cool film. I just I don't know. I'd have to go back honestly to give it like a much more thorough review. There was a movie that we saw, well, at least my wife and I saw. What was it? Like a year ago or so, with Channing Tatum, that was directed by his wife.
Edward
Eh,
Norton's wife?
no, not Edward Norton's wife. Channing Tatum's wife.
Oh, I didn't know he was married.
Yeah, he's married to Catwoman. Um,
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Zoe Kravitz, I want to say. Um,
Oh,
Wait a second. Wait a second. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I might. I might be totally wrong. I might be totally wrong. I might be throwing some. He's engaged to Zoe Kravitz. Uh.
okay.
Yeah. Anyways. Here. So they did a movie very, very similar in some ways to Glass Onion. Um. Sorry, guys. Just pause with me for a half second. Uh. The movie
Did you guys
was
like so Matrice asked,
Blink
did y'all like
Twice.
Josh
Blink
Brolin's
Twice.
performance?
Yes, the movie was Blink Twice, and they both. I mean, I guess they're both similar in that there's, you know, our main cast of characters go off to a rich person's island, and there's like crimes and bizarre stuff that's going down, which I guess could maybe describe a lot of stories potentially, but within a span of like a year or two, both of those movies feel very similar to me. And honestly, I think I liked Blink Twice a good amount more.
You think Glass
Yeah,
Onion?
yeah. So maybe it also comes down to like as much as I like Benoit Blanc, Daniel Craig's character is definitely the saving grace of the films for me. I think ultimately, I think having the most fun with his character, and then like one or two other characters wind up, helping me have some fun in the film too. There's just something about the cast and Glass Onion, and even like the mystery itself. Not as good for me. But anyways, we're back to this movie, Wake Up Dead Men. Yeah, Patrice is asking how we like Josh Brolin. So I did like his performance, and we covered this a little bit briefly earlier. Um, not 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 anything outside of the realm of what he typically does. That said, I think it worked for the character. It worked for the writing of the character, just fine. But I mean, it's tough.
He was fine. He
It's
was
like
Josh
it.
Brolin.
Yeah. It's like it's funny. I'm bringing up Fleabag. That the actor that was in here from Fleabag. In Fleabag, he played a Catholic priest. In both of these characters, both these actors are terrible representations of the Catholic sort of religion and people like within Catholicism, especially priests. What are you gonna do? Hollywood typically doesn't do a fantastic job representing Catholic priests or people with a faith. That said, Judd is a lot closer to, I think, a better representation, but still not fantastic. But yeah, Josh Brolin's character for sure. It's like, yeah, this man, I don't know how he wound up becoming a priest in one way, shape, or form. It's not something you can like just pass down through lineage, although it kind of feels like that's how he got it in this film, and he's there for no other reason. But yeah, that's character frustrations that I have. Nothing to do with the performance. His performance was fine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We'll get to that in some of the negatives, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'll just say that Josiah and I are not Catholic. We are Protestant, and so we don't feel any particular need to stick up for Catholics per se. But um, I mean, I'm kind of like whatever, like were they portrayed well or accurately? Maybe. I don't know. I've never gone to confession before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. So I don't know. I
I mean,
mean,
honestly, yeah, I think it's fine. There's so many across time as well and distance, around the planet that more likely than not, I'm sure there are Catholic priests that are similar to both these characters.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
So to wrap up, what you is there anything else that you like before we jump into the negatives?
Um. Hmm. So okay, as we all know, Ryan Johnson's thing is subversion, trying to subvert the expected order of things and you know what we imagine's going to happen in a film. So a couple of the moments I do appreciate. There was Benoit Blanc's giant revealing of the mystery, and halfway through his revelation of the mystery, he has his like road to Damascus moment, he claims, when he looks up out the stained glass. Well, at the stained glass. Technically, you can't look out the stained glass, but anyways, looks at the stained glass and the light hits him across the face, lighting up his face. He processes something, internally, and then basically tells everybody that he can't solve the mystery. So I appreciate moments like that in a film where the typical structure would be no, you just finish telling your mystery to everybody and then you catch the killer right there in that moment. And now it's happened before. I'm not saying it's never happened in that way. There have been episodes of Columbo where yeah, he fakes I mean he literally he pretty much fakes every time that he doesn't know. And then he winds up catching them. But I like yeah, there are a couple moments in the movie that are similar where it's like, okay, this is the part of the story where it goes X, Y, and Z, and then he decides to like pause it and push the tension a little bit further along storyline wise. Um and I can a little bit I can a little bit respect his character's choice to not just run the murderer into the ground right in front of everybody. But yes, ultimately it's the pausing and the breaking up of the typical structure that I wound up enjoying.
Okay.
Hmm.
All
And
right.
even within
So
the details of the mystery. Sorry, last thing I'll say. Even within the details of the mystery, there's the jewelry box. We had seen that jewelry box, and when we first saw it and we saw the little Christ figure inside of it, it did struck me as a little odd, but not enough. So I like that I could feel almost there was something off, but I didn't fully guess it. But if I had just had the right thought, I could have potentially jumped to like, oh, that doesn't seem to belong. And then when we see the little like I don't know pillow or whatever that would hold the jewel and the shape of it and all that stuff, I just assumed that the bottom of the Jesus was that shape. Um, but again, I like that some of the details are put forward there that could allow us to make some of the jumps to solve the mystery.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's jump into the negatives. Like,
All right.
what? Let's start. um. uh, I guess I would say that you like the acting. Like, I thought the acting was okay, but I feel like it was kind of like stilted, kind of
Hmm.
stunted. And
Okay.
and part of the reason for that is because I just feel like, except for Benet Benoit, what's his name? Benoit.
So actually, funny enough, there's a Sesame Street, and you watch it. Forks Out Short. That's basically a spoof of this, and in
Yeah,
there they have a Muppet version of him that's called Beignet Blanc, but his actual character is Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc, Benny Blanco.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna call him Benny Blanco for the rest of the review.
There we go.
Um,
Yeah.
except for him, he
Hmm.
has some kind of nuance and depth, kind of ish. Eh, but like Kerry Washington's character is just kind of like one note, one dimensional.
Yes.
The
Yes.
author, the
Hmm.
conservative author, is just kind of one note, one dimensional.
Yeah.
Um, Mr. Renner's character, I want
Dude.
to call him Carl Reiner, but that's not his name. What's his
I
name?
think it
Robert
was. I think it
Renner.
was like Eric in it. Was it Eric in this movie? Or
Yeah,
here, let me.
and the son, the adult son of the failed politician. Um, they're all just caricatures. Like, I don't really feel like they're real characters. They're
Hmm.
just caricatures. And I guess that was true of Glass Onion. I just thought the characters were more fun in Glass Onion.
Mm.
Um, I just felt like, because in that movie they're all like superficial movie stars, rich people. Yeah, excuse me. They're all like superficial to begin with. So the fact
Hmm.
that they're one dimensional kind of works. It kind of makes sense
Hmm.
because they're like just fake. They were just kind of fake, hollow plastic people to begin with.
Nat was Jeremy Renner's. Sorry. Yeah.
Jeremy Renner, yeah, Jeremy.
Hmm.
And so these people are supposed to be more normal, more
Hmm.
like commonplace folks from the city. And in one sense, they felt too polished, and in the other sense, they just felt too like one note. There was not enough like biodiversity, and I kind of feel like, while Benoit, Pierre Pierre Benoit,
Benoit.
Benny Blanc, Benny Blanco,
Oh
Benny
man.
Blanco,
Benny
Beignet
Blanks
Benoit,
along with
Billy
George
Blanks
Foreman.
Benoit, Ben Gay Benoit, um, Bill the Bear Benoit. While they were
Yeah.
like him and the priest and Mila
Blanc.
Kunis,
Blanc is his last name. Yeah.
yeah, Ben Blanc, Beignet Blanc.
Hmm.
Um,
That's right.
while they were solving things, there was like nothing else for the other characters to do. They were just there for like set pieces, and so
Yeah. Hmm. This
so
this
that's one
movie, I
part.
think. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Well, I'll add on to what you're saying in a second.
Yeah. The other thing is like, this used to be really, really bad, and like, you know, it was really not that bad, and or maybe it was. It was less of a thing in the 80s. I feel like it was more of a thing in the 70s, less of a thing in the 80s, although this may not be true. This is my how I feel about it.
Hmm.
Less of a thing in the 90s, and then it got really bad in like the late 90s, the early 2000s, the 2010s. And what I'm talking about is like movies that kind of wear their political affiliations on their sleeves in a
Hmm.
way that's like really like deeply unnuanced and just kind of on the nose.
Hmm.
And um like, there's this one kind of meta scene where, like, oh man, they're gonna make a movie about us and it's gonna be on Netflix. I'm like, I mean, if they're gonna do something like that, I just kind of wish they all kind
Yeah.
of look at the theater, looked at the camera, and like broke the fourth wall for just a second, I would have respected it so much more if they did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, oh, so he's the right wing Republican conspiracy theorist. He's like Alex Jones or something, and like there are actual analogs, real people to like map these people onto in real life. That's
Hmm.
totally fine. That's totally fair. But all right, I get it. Ryan Johnson is a Democrat. I don't know why. I don't care, but it doesn't make the movie any better or worse. It's just like, all right, well, now I know how he feels about whatever, and that just like it adds to, or at the very least, lends itself to the kind of one dimensional caricature caricaturization of the characters,
Yeah.
all the characters, really just the author, really just the author.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's like, all right, I'm not saying it's wrong or it's bad, but it's just like when that's the most that the character has going on for itself as a character, and to me, it feels like these characters, the political one and the non-political ones, they're all a bit hollow. Like Glenn Close is
Hmm.
like I almost feel like because it was her character was kind of so one-dimensional, her performance kind of verges on overacting, like over
Hmm.
embellishing. Oh, like she's like the stereotypical crazy nun Catholic lady,
Yeah.
but you're not like a person. I don't feel like you're a real person, and
Mm.
so I found myself struggling with that. Um, does it accurately? I mean, I don't think Brolin is like depicting the average Catholic priest accurately. He was like this weird firebrand, just kind of going off on his, whatever. Um, and Catholic mass, as I understand, the homily, the sermon or whatever, is kind of like the same anywhere you go. That's kind of the reason why some people choose Catholicism. Even if I go out of state, if I go to a mass in Arizona, it's the same homily as the mass going on in Kentucky or in Utah or whatever. That's a thing in Catholicism, as I understand. It's not really a thing in Protestant churches unless you're dealing with maybe like mega churches with satellite campuses, maybe kind of sort of, or it's like it's this video feed in each location. That's like the closest that you really kind of get as far as that's concerned, unless you're like an Anglican or something like that, or Episcopalian, which
Hmm.
are just degrees removed from Roman Catholicism to begin with.
Hmm.
And so maybe Orthodox Christian churches or, like Greek Orthodox or something like that operate in a similar fashion. Maybe even some Lutheran churches. I don't know. But like, yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that in any fair reading of like Roman Catholic priests, what 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 his character was doing, Monsignor's character was doing from the pulpit is like a vast departure from what you would see if you went to a regular,
It is.
standard
Yeah. Yeah.
issue
It definitely
Catholic
would be.
church.
Hmm.
So, okay,
Yeah.
fine. I mean, there's kind of a purpose to that. And so I don't think they're just engaging in like mockery of religion or of Catholicism in that regard. I don't feel like that's what they're doing.
No, thankfully
But
not. Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
but
don't
I
think they're just
mean, with Benoit,
right
he
trying to be.
he does use him as a character to basically like say, it's all smoke and mirrors, anyways.
Yeah, like I don't remember him being like a snarky atheist in the other movie. I never saw the original Knives Out, but I did see Glass Onion.
Mm.
And I don't recall him being anything like that in the second installment. In Glass Onion, I didn't even know he was an atheist. Like there's nothing that I recall suggests that. He was like pouring it on thick in this movie. I'm like, all right. Like
He
being
was.
holier than thou, it's like the like they claim not to believe in God, but yet like they do everything that the most obnoxious religious people do without any self-awareness about it, you know?
Mm.
Just the irony of, it's like the irony of being an atheist or like kind of like a Bill Maher atheist, this snarky, pretentious, uppity atheist. Subreddit r/atheist r/atheism atheist. With your fedora hat and your Rurouni Kenshin button up and your katana blade. You know,
That's crazy.
so
So
like, oh man, yeah.
yeah, it's always disappointing. I was really hoping that he would avoid doing that, but yeah,
I don't mind him being
writers
an
in
atheist.
Hollywood. What was that?
It's not the fact that he's an atheist in and of itself. You can have engaging characters that happen to be atheists,
Oh,
but
100%.
it was just like the leaning into like the generic, you know, stale, boring atheism snark. I'm like, oh man, like
Yeah.
you could have done this different ways. And so
Yeah, his I could tell though his goal with that was Benoit's gonna come into the parish, or I forgot if it's parish or um,
yeah, that's fine.
maybe it
Let's
has to
just
be
call it
bigger
fair.
for Cathedral. Well, I'll call it a parish.
Right.
He's gonna walk up into it and have a moment talking to Judd. Judd's not gonna know that he's a there on the job as a detective. So they're gonna have this candid heart to heart. Benoit is gonna summarize religion and put it in a box really quickly, which is going to be noted by our main character, who's going to have his own honest response. But then by the end of the film, Benoit's going to come to an appreciation of Catholicism and what it is. And so they basically had that be his moment of the road to Damascus, and not just being cold hearted, and giving Martha a moment to um, come up and speak and confess on her own, which is fine, but it doesn't completely absolve the writer as using the character to just blatantly dismiss an entire belief system.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna make him a snarky atheist, and like if if that's a character component that you're constantly referring back to, okay, cool. Well, then, like, I don't know, like, let other characters, like, in good faith, engage with that and challenge that, or so. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
it would, it was just like just to have it there. Just like, all right. I also felt like
Oh,
there was a
wait,
missed
1 second.
opportunity.
So Matrice did wind up hitting us up again and said that one, that Benoit's accent is funny. I do love his accent as well. But two, you can argue that the characters across all three movies are hollow, including the Clue game with their characters being hollow too. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is true, but and it really just depends on what you're trying to accomplish within the film. If all you're trying to accomplish within the film is the mystery itself, and have Benoit Blanc and whatever one main character be the focus of the film, then yeah, more it's very possible that within the runtime, if it's a movie versus a series, some of the side supporting characters aren't going to feel so very fleshed out. But he which is could be less of a problem when your characters feel potentially more realistic, when they just feel as if they're just stapled on obvious archetypes, and you don't get as much time with the characters to see them interact with each other or the main character, then it starts to feel a lot more hollow than it is. So
yeah.
it just
It
comes
just
down to
felt
the
too much.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, they felt too much like NPCs to me. Like in
mm-hmm.
this movie,
Yeah,
just a little
yeah,
too much like that. The
yeah.
other thing is, and this is kind of my own headcanon as I'm watching the movie, what I felt was a missed opportunity, although a few things might have had to change or been adjusted, like Jeremy Renner's character, in order for this to work, might have had to be a little bit older. I'm not sure.
Nat,
But,
yeah, mm-hmm.
but what I was thinking was, and I felt the missed opportunity was like, and maybe the reason why he would have wanted to kill the Pope is that the guy, the politician, the guy,
Mm-hmm. Cheated with his wife.
yeah, like
Yep,
the mother would have been his wife,
yep,
and that's part of
mm-hmm.
why she left.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that would have been the perfect character motivation for why, he
Hmm.
would have wanted to kill him or whatever, or
Yeah.
was following him just to turn around and kill him in the end or
Yeah.
whatever. And some elaborate
That was
plan.
most likely an intentional red herring that could have been set up to be even more, um, in our faces, more of a factor, because it felt like it was just a small hint towards that, but it wasn't really standing out in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It didn't have to be that way.
Hmm.
That character was pretty annoying. Rig, the microphone and everything in the cage. Respect to the
Oh yeah,
rig.
Psy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Psy.
Oh,
Girl.
oh, oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, 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 oh. So he had a YouTube page. So I actually went to that YouTube page, and that is probably the biggest missed opportunity. Like they should have like really like had some behind the scenes foot or something. They just had like a few little commercials. It was like, oh man, they could have done something really cool with that as like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
promo thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't want to put
But
too much time into that. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyway, it's a Netflix film, so
Yeah.
whatever.
So, yeah, I'll let you continue in one more second, but first I'll jump off of what you're talking about. I do very much agree that in this film, maybe I don't even remember. Maybe I felt the same with the other ones, but even more so, this film, all the supporting characters felt like they barely did anything. Um, by the end of the movie, like you want the cast of characters and supporting characters to be the characters that you're pondering. Oh, were they the murderer? Were they responsible? Like, did they do it? What is this
Yeah.
motivation?
Who
Let me
done
get
it?
this
Yeah.
detail. Yeah, we get details of the supporting characters and interactions with the supporting characters, like time and time again, that then cause them to be suspects, which did happen, to be fair, a little bit in this film, especially when we get the revelation of that final meeting, and Wick is yelling at everybody, calling everybody like, basically trash and, evil people that he's going to expose. But you don't, like, by the end of the film, I was like, it can't be any of these people. Like, these none of these people have given us any time at all. Like, it's so weird going through an entire movie, and yet you barely have got to know the cast. Like, a little bit of like their initial struggle, but you almost don't know more about them than their initial like description that's given. It's just, man,
Yeah.
I don't know. They just were specifically hollow in this movie that I was like, you didn't even need to have anyone like famous playing any of these characters because they were basically absent from the film for the vast majority of it. Uh,
Yeah. Like
yeah.
this movie wasn't any better than like an average episode of like NCIS.
Hmm.
It wasn't any deeper. It wasn't any better. It wasn't any more
Yeah.
of a twist or turn or surprise. It
Yeah.
was at the level of like a season 3 episode of NCIS,
Hmm.
which is fine. If you like NCIS, like, that's fine.
Hmm.
I would have hoped for just a little bit more for a future production.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about at that level.
Yeah. And like within the characters, there are some relationships, and even those are like, yeah, I think, okay. As much as I do enjoy the movie, like I 100% feel like Ryan Johnson was just, I don't know, 2 years ago sitting somewhere in a cabin at Mammoth or whatever, writing this movie out with all his details and interactions, and he's having a fun time, and he puts in things that he thinks is relevant to the kids, like saying pwned, and all that stuff, but is
Oh yeah.
completely distanced from it in actuality, that he feels incredibly fake doing it. But I do still like the overall. I was down for the overall journey to watch it, but yeah, there's some cringy dialogue. There's some characters that just feel super hollow. Like, for instance, her name Vera, Kerry Washington's character. We find out that she is basically raised Psy as her own son for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I don't remember how long the time period was. She does in no way, shape, or form feel like she raised this guy. Like their relationship is so non-existent that it doesn't feel like she raised him. He might as well have just said that he was brought in and they lived like, half brother and sister or something like that. Um,
Yeah,
like,
because he like called her an old hag. I'm like,
oh man,
you
he
wouldn't say that about
completely.
someone that raised you.
No, no,
That's just
no. And then in response, she winds up saying something like, vitriolic as well. And I'm like, what? I'm supposed to believe that she raised this kid, this guy, like for all these years? Like, okay, now I,
yeah,
I can understand that like someone going off, getting into the world and coming back can have like a prodigal son sort of relationship a little bit. But I mean, as you know, in that story, like the father welcomed the prodigal son back with open arms. I'm not saying it has to go that way, but I felt like zero love, zero care, like between these characters.
yeah, it's kind of
It
weird.
just made absolutely no sense. It's like he's so willing to like take the character. I know she's putting on a front. Okay, I know she has anger and frustration, like within her, but once her front is gone, once she's trying to expose Wick, and then once she finds out that Size is her is Wit's son and all that stuff, and she's frustrated, like she's just ready to like kick him out and throw him to the curb as if there was absolutely no relationship there in one way, shape, or form. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that
just I
that
just think
dynamic
his
was too
characters.
weird.
It's very weird. I just think his characters go from he tells us they're this, and then once there's like a turning moment, they just like they just go up to 11 and they're just angry and frustrated and they're ready to burn things down. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a problem in how simple these characters are that they like completely
Yeah,
break character once like revelations happen.
yeah. So it's an okay movie. It's not terrible. It's not bad. It's not boring, but it's also not great. Um, it's not fantastic. It's not excellent. It's just kind of it's okay. It's fine for Netflix. It's a fine movie to watch. It's fine,
Mhm.
but there's nothing there's nothing particularly inspired about it at any point.
Okay, so you're
Um,
saying that you didn't really care too much for Judd. Um,
it was fine.
yeah, because I mean that's where the movie. It's like the movie is
He-
Judd and
He's the
Benoit.
heart of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah. I mean, the only other thing that bothered me was just like the complete. Um, what do you call it? What do you call it when you Oh, the complete contamination of crime scenes in several scenes. Like they're walking through the
Mm.
house, like just a complete law, case ruining, legal case destroying, contamination of crime scenes, like all throughout. It's like, oh, wow, um, this would never fly. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. It's a movie. Who cares? I don't really care. But I was like, oh wow, they're just walking all through, breaking all the broken glass. Like you don't like, you are completely destroying this crime scene.
The funny thing about that kind of a thing is like, yeah, it's like they have to like try and move the story forward because if they're being like way too careful about it, then like how do they get from point A to point B across like this
But
completely
you
destroyed
are
hallway?
you are
Mm-hmm.
rendering everything inadmissible in court by doing all of this stuff. When he drains the thing and shows like that should have been a cop doing that. We can't like you are
Yeah,
rendering everything completely inadmissible in a court of law.
yeah,
This is
yeah, yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Hey, Nat did once, um, uh, oh my gosh, Wicks Monsignor Wicks was killed, he was like, "Oh, don't touch that," as far as the painted red devil wolf head or whatever. So there's a little respect for the crime scene. That said, he was pulling some shenanigans.
Oh, another thing that was kind of confusing. They were making it seem like Monsignor Wick came back to life, but he didn't. It wasn't him that came back to life. It was
Mm-hmm.
the groundskeeper guy.
Mm-hmm.
But that was
Mm-hmm.
confusing. Like, it was like, why is he there? Why, what are they? They're trying to make it seem like he came back to life. What were they trying to accomplish? Because Wick was still dead, and it was like he put the sleep serum put to knock him out but not kill him. But then he put the knife in him, which actually did kill him. I'm like, that didn't make a whole lot of sense. That was weird.
So I think it's a slight problem with the storytelling order, not order, but basically Martha says that Nat he wound up getting you know he like the draw of the apple caused him to do that, but they wind up showing the draw of the apple like after that once the groundskeeper has escaped from the tomb and he's looking at the the jewel right before he stabs him with the sickle. But technically I think he turned way earlier than that, and that's why he actually did kill Monsignor. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that was weird. It was not clear the way they did. I was like, wait a minute, like who's
no, actually I got that wrong. No, like Martha is actually totally fine with killing Monsignor. Same with Nat, because he was gonna run away with the jewel anyways. So
right?
she had her moment of, I don't want this, I don't want this evil to be in anyone's hands, let alone him. And yeah, it it does feel weird though that like Martha loves Monsignor so much to such a strong degree.
Right.
It all hinges on that moment where she says like when he was yelling at everybody, and it was everybody, including her. Like that was her snapping point where she was apparently willing to murder him. Um, Same with Nat.
Yeah.
So that it's all hinged on that. So it's like Nat and her were willing to murder him. Uh, they weren't just gonna steal the jewel from him and leave him around. Like he needed to be removed from the picture, which is why they did have the whole Breaking Bad, dissolve a body kind of situation going on in Nat's basement. So
Yeah.
they
And,
they
and
were they
like,
were fooling on the murder.
yeah, like some of the misdirection that like I get a little frustrated when there's like certain misdirection that's not necessary and doesn't go anywhere. Like when they both came out of the confession booth, it looked like it looked like they were banging, they were smashing, or it's kind of like implied because like Monsignor Wicked like kind of breathing heavily, and she walks out. It's like, what were they doing in there? Like kind of weird. It was nothing. That was just the point at which he had revealed about where the jewel is or whatever. But
I almost wonder if
just the
that
way that they
was
shot it, it's just weird.
intentional or unintentional, because it does have a bit of that vibe to it for sure.
Yeah, like
I
they were
I think
getting busy in the confession booth.
I actually don't think Ryan Johnson was trying, like, okay, maybe he wanted us to think about that as a possibility, but I do think he wanted us to know that there was something substantial that went down. Actually, maybe he's trying to use that perception of it as the misdirect, and that's why later on
Yeah,
he winds up revealing like, oh, she got all full of herself and angry at Judd that she told him the truth, this secret that she's been keeping for 60 years. And he's just
yeah.
like devastated by it, as he comes out the booth. Yeah. um you know
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
the photograph at the bar, I had like such a such a like conflicted moment in my head. I'm like, I know there's something to be seen in this photograph, but like I literally
I
don't
didn't
want to
even
pause
bother
the
because
film.
I knew they're gonna circle back to us. I didn't even bother. Like, I
Yeah.
had the ability to like pause it on my laptop. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
not doing
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly,
care.
exactly.
Just hurry up. We'll get back to this in like 30 to 45 minutes. I'm not even.
100%.
Not
100%.
even. I'm not even gonna let this register.
I was still in the mode of trying to figure it out, so I was like, "Oh, do I pause it? No, I don't want to pause it. I know there's something there, but I don't want to pause it right now."
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you really wanted to, especially if you're doing like I was and watching it on your like laptop, and I might actually go back and do this just for fun. Like pause it, take a picture of it before and after with my smartphone, and then feed those pictures in the chat GPT. What's the difference between what are the
Oh
things missing in
yeah.
this photo that are in and then see
Uh-huh.
what it comes out with? That actually might be kind of fun.
It probably would be, but I think ChatGPT is cheating. Because I probably already knows what movie it's from,
Maybe,
and all that stuff. Who knows? Who
maybe,
knows?
kind
Maybe
of. I
maybe
don't know.
maybe you can tell it like not to use the internet to research, and then hope it doesn't lie to you like it would.
Maybe. So
Hmm.
there you go, folks. Have fun with your Claude or your Gemini or your ChatGPT. See if it see if it'll figure out the murder mystery who done it for you before you have to watch the whole movie or something. Have fun. Whatever. Just do what you want to do. I don't care. Oh,
Yeah,
and the other
yeah,
thing is the movie poster itself is completely misleading. There's no
oh,
point at which there's like a burial plot in the
that's true.
ground.
That's true.
There's it was in this tomb with a big porcelain,
Hmm.
stone tablet, and it falls down and breaks. At no point are they looking down at a grave, or is anybody at any point looking down at a grave from any vantage point, either from looking up or if you're looking down this
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
That's just a complete misnomer.
Yeah,
There's
it feels so constructed though that like there's no point in a movie that the whole cast of characters are going to be looking down. You know what? It could happen. To be honest, it could happen. They could be looking at inside a casket to see like a reveal or something, but they just look all too calm. They're all too
yeah,
symmetrical. Like yeah, this could happen, but it would be depicted in a different way.
yeah. So meh. Um,
There are some fun, weird details like that every now and then. Like when they first showed the castle, was it like Castle or Chimney Rock area? You actually do see like a chimney shaped sort of like big rock at like the base of one of the mountains or something like that.
yeah.
But they like never show it ever again. It was kind of weird. I don't know why they
Yeah,
didn't.
and another thing, there's a scene where like I guess he gets punched out, and I guess he's having a dream where he has the knife in his hand. He's about to stab Senor Wick.
Okay.
You got to,
Yeah.
and it's not that hard to figure out, but it's just like another weird little like, why are we doing this? And then the whole thing where like the priest and Benoit are like talking in the forest, and like the guys walking in the background, and they totally miss it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like this is dumb, but whatever. Um, Stuff like that, like just little things like that, just kind of like get under my skin and bother me a little bit. But it's fine. Like the movie has some good cinematography. It has some redeeming elements for sure,
That
technical elements.
scene, that scene though in particular, I did notice, and I get the idea of what it is. Like, oh, okay, it's for the people that are paying attention to details, but it's done in such an obvious way that it actually was more distracting to the actual like main conversation for me.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay,
this movie it was kind of okay, just
yeah,
slightly above meh. Eh, I don't feel the
yeah,
need to ever go back and watch this movie again.
I feel you.
I saw it once and that was enough.
Yeah,
And I'm glad that I didn't see it in the theater. I'm glad that
yeah.
I just stayed home and watched it on Netflix.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what else I watched on Netflix?
I wanted to watch. What was it, Marty Supreme or whatever, and I think we still will, but don't know when we're gonna review it. Our next review is actually Stranger Things, so y'all better watch the whole thing
Yeah.
by
I was
by
about I
next
was about to say,
Monday.
you know what else I was watching on Netflix? Yeah, Stranger Things. Stay tuned because we're gonna be reviewing that tomorrow. The last episode like drops at like 5 p.m. I think,
Hmm.
sometime like that.
Bro,
So
if this
that'll be
if this
fun.
is the representation of like what a Netflix movie review life would be like, man. They better keep movies in theaters because I do not want this. But anyways, all right. So let me get to a couple things that I wish were a little bit better in the movie myself. Within the story, so okay, minor thing. You know, Ryan Johnson's always trying to play things so cool. So he has, man, I love Jeffrey Wright as an actor, but he literally has his character like cursing all the time, and he's supposed to be someone like high enough within the, I don't know, diocese or whatever, that he's partially making, you know, life altering decisions for priests and where they're going and stuff like that. And yet this guy is just like half the time just like simplified down to like cursing. I'm like, what is this character? Like he just shows up to like curse.
Like, are they all
What are
from
you doing?
Boston or something? Yeah,
What
it's
was
kind of
that?
weird.
Wait, say that again.
I think are they all from Boston? Or is
Oh,
that just
they're
a
all from
thing?
Boston. Yeah, I know,
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah, they're just cursing all the time. Uh,
Are they all from like New York, like somewhere in like Brooklyn or whatever?
yeah, yeah.
They
It's
all from
like,
Staten Island or something?
mhm.
I don't know.
It's like are all the priests in this movie outside of Judd like fake Christians or something? They're just like
I
this
don't
is
know.
just a career for them. I don't know. Anyways,
I mean,
that
I don't
that
think so. Hang on. So I'll say, like,
that.
okay, if your profession, if your calling is to be a pastor or whatever, then yeah, I mean, I think that should color how you talk and when you talk. I don't think using strong language in and of itself, depending on
No.
the context you use it in,
Yeah.
is necessarily an issue. And again, like there are Christians that would differ with me on that, and that's fine. I'm not trying to get I'm not trying to make any converts by my the stance that I'm taking. You know, what you would say with one group of people, you might not say with another group of people because it might not be received well, it might not be appropriate, it might not mean the same thing,
Mm,
right?
mhm, mhm,
As black people, there are certain words that we can say amongst each other that I wouldn't say amongst white people, and I wouldn't let white people say it to me.
mhm,
Does
mhm.
that mean that the word can never be used? No. And again, not all black people agree with this either. Like, people are free to, land where they are on certain words and their usage and with whom and where and how you use it.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah.
trying to advocate for one thing or the other.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, if that's how they talk amongst themselves, okay, fine. I mean, again, if you are a pastor, if you are a priest, probably just for the sake of the flock and not causing anybody to stumble along those lines, I would say I should probably not speak that way. That's my position. Um, it kind of doesn't bother me per se, but I understand how like, yeah, that seems a bit off. Like I can understand people feeling that way if they.
Yeah. I'm not
Oh,
saying that his character couldn't be a Christian and be cursing, but it just felt like his character was simplified down to, all right, well, here's a guy who's gonna relate to Judd. Yeah, nobody really liked that first guy that you punched anyways. Like, I'm here to help. That I think was fine, but then the fact that he's like cursing while in that scene by the end, and then his like one or second other scene that he shows up, he's basically just cursing as well. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I
And
don't know.
I would say that just kind of goes to the general issue that about the characters just kind of being one dimensional to
Yeah,
begin with.
yeah, yeah,
So that when they do something like
definitely.
that, it just seems like it's just more jarring when they do things that are like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, you're a priest, but like, you don't really sound like a priest." Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I think if they were written a little more with a little more depth or a little more nuance, and maybe the movie would have had to have been significantly longer to accomplish that. I don't know. Maybe maybe if Tarantino was writing the dialogue, you would have gotten all that, and it would have been better. I don't know.
Mm.
Eh,
Yeah, I
this
can't
movie is
say
okay.
it probably would not have been better coming from Tarantino, to be honest. And there'd be
I mean, it probably would have had more
110%
cursing.
more feet in the movie as well.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. But like that aside, like I'm just saying, like he
yeah.
writes character dialogue pretty well, and he writes exposition dialogue pretty well. And so, I mean, the only
Sure.
character except
The
for
thing that I'm
Benoit.
looking for though is a more broad representation coming from characters and them feeling a little bit more realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was about to say, like the only character, there's only two characters that really get a chance to breathe in this movie. It's Benoit and the character because we have his whole back. We have a chunk of his backstory.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
His kind of from the third person, we get his perspective and his narration, and so then he feels like a fully formed character. And even when he makes silly decisions,
Mhm.
you still like have some connection to him because you felt like you got to know him,
Yeah.
and they just didn't make time for any of the other characters to be known like that.
Yeah.
That so
That's
I
true.
mean, it just is what it is.
You did bring up one thing that I was gonna mention though, and for the first what half or third or so of the movie, it's basically being narrated to us by Judd, a letter he winds up writing to Benoit because Benoit asked him to write a letter, not a letter, but a description of the events up to that point, everything. I I wanted the movie to feel a little bit different after that. Like I think it was appropriate to have the movie feel different than the narrative portion. That's maybe just an artistic perspective that I have personally, but
He's like, "Why did you do it?" Like, it's, like, highly suggestive that he did something really bad or wrong, right? Maybe he's the one that killed him.
oh no, that like no, the
It is kind
plot
of a
point.
misdirection.
Yeah, no,
It's
no,
a
no.
misdirection in and of itself.
The revelation of the plot point that he was holding back information about Wit being an alcoholic
The
and
flask.
hiding
Yeah.
the flash. That I'm fine with. And I'm saying like the actual way that the movie is presented should feel different because we're going from a narrated section of the movie by the main character that's being read by like in I guess inside Benoit's head. Either it's Judd like thinking about it to himself as he's writing it, or it's Benoit reading it. Either way,
Yeah.
either way, you've changed narration technique in the second half of the movie. The movie should feel different in the way it's put forward. But that's just
Yeah,
me
see,
kind of personally.
I thought that, like, he was reading the letter, and the letter was basically like a cry or a call out for help. "Hey, help me, I heard that you're a crack detective." I thought that it was gonna go in that direction. "I'm reaching out to you because we had a murder and people are suspecting I did it, and I didn't. I need your help to absolve me and, clear my name," kind of thing. So that when he showed up and he arrived at the church, I thought there's, "Oh, you're the," but it wasn't like that. And so, which is fine, it's just kind of one of those misdirections. It's fine. It's not bad, but yeah, eh, some of those pay
Yeah.
off more than others.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with the writing itself, just like artistically how the movie was presented. I felt like there was an opportunity for it to feel different or to feel like there was a different main character that we were seeing the movie through.
I see.
Maybe it went from Judd writing to Benoit like trying to solve the case, and so we see things differently because our main character, our story is being told through someone else. But that's just an artistic thing. It's fine that it didn't happen that way. But I was gonna say plot wise, and I'll probably just end on this because don't want to go too much into tearing this movie apart or something. Okay, so we wind up seeing that the gardener, um, played by Thomas Hayden Church, Sam,
Mhm.
is imitating Monsignor inside the crypt or whatever it's called.
The
All
tomb.
right, the tomb. Yeah, we basically got a little detail dropped on us earlier where they're saying like, "Oh man, you can't open this thing from the outside, but from the inside, you can just push it really easily." So, was waiting for that to happen at some point in time. That happened through Samson, and Samson leaves looking like Monsignor. Our main character sees that happening at a distance, and we think he meets up with the gardener, but he's meeting up with Nat. All right, two things. One, we find out that Nat murders him with a sickle. I outside of maybe the thought of them needing to get through the forest. I didn't understand why the gardener had that sickle. That's me being generous. Maybe he needed to use it to like cut through some bushes or something like that. Possibly. That's like probably what Ryan Johnson wants us to believe, but it made absolutely no sense to me. Like he's in there, dressed as Monsignor. I get it. It's underneath the vestments. So did, did Martha just grab him off the street and was like, "Hey, you need to do this for me right now," and like he happens to have the sickle on him at that moment.
Yeah, it's a little
uh
weird.
it was just like incredibly convenient that he's got a deadly weapon on him that's used. Look, they could have wrote it a million different other ways, I guess, to get him to die,
It could
but
have
the
just been
way
like
it's
a
written
field knife
here,
or a potty knife or something.
it could have been but the fact that he's got this sickle that like Nat is like eyeing and is like, I kind of want to kill this man because this jewel is so tasty looking. Um,
Beguiling, yeah.
yeah.
Bedazzling.
It was the apple that was deceiving him, tempting him. Yeah. So that was like, why does this man have a sickle on him when he's disguised as the priest inside the tomb? Anyways, that's a lesser problem. The bigger problem for me is the scene where we have the seizure inducing flashing lights. I know it's a creative choice. That said, it's still probably nevertheless seizure inducing. I hope we don't hear about any incidents of people having seizures from that scene in the movie. But it's supposed to be, we're supposed to be from the perspective of Judd, like thrown off and not understanding what's going on. We just got punched in the face, and so things are off. This man's first like instinct is one to recognize that he has a weapon in his hand, and two, use that weapon to stab Monsignor that he thinks was dead. Now I don't know. Maybe some people have a little bit of a leniency for that kind of a thing, but I didn't think that there was any way, shape, or form that warranted him seeing a human being, whether he thinks this person should have been dead or not, and then trying to stab them. That's just my opinion. I don't know how y'all go about things, um, but
Yeah,
it
that whole
felt
that
it
whole
felt weird.
sequence was weird. That
Yeah.
whole sequence was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand why it was edited or shot. I don't know why it was done that way, but whatever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, some of the stuff just doesn't really make sense to me
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of the movie.
I think that I mean I know that it's supposed to be connected to Judd's. He's got this problem of like physically lashing out when he's feeling like threatened or something. I think that's like what it's supposed to be coming from. Uh, but one, he's a boxer. He's not like a trained assassin where it's like in his blood to like stab somebody with a weapon. And yeah, and two, even his scene earlier on where he's slapping Martha's hand, or was it Martha? I don't know. He slapped somebody's hand, and
He slapped Glenn Close's hand. It
yeah,
was Glenn
who
Close.
who
She was like, she's pointing at him.
yeah,
You know,
Martha's hand. Yeah,
sorry.
again, like I don't think it was written well. Like I can get him punching that guy early in the film, but these other moments where he's like threatening with violence and actually then like acts and does violence, it just didn't feel like it was set up well for me. But that's just me personally. So
Yeah.
it's written in stone then, guys. All right.
All right.
Well, uh, listen, we're about to bounce right now, but if there's anything else y'all want to tell us in the chat, please shout it out. We're about to wrap up here. I guess during this wrap up, yeah, we are Monday, as I said earlier, talking about the Stranger Things finale. Because this is treated as a like 2.5 hour kind of like movie experience, more or less, and it's released in
It's like two and a
theaters.
half hours.
I think, I think so. I think so. Something like that.
Dang.
I'd have to
I
double
didn't know it was
check.
that long. Two and
I
a half
mean,
hours?
I think I'd have to double check. Don't hold me to it. Whatever it is, it's the big grand finale of the series that we've been all part of for what, a
It's like three
decade.
episodes.
Um, That's how it is, man.
I didn't
That's
know it was
how it
gonna take
is.
that long to wrap it all up. I thought maybe like an hour and a half, maybe.
Don't say anything. I haven't seen the last 3 episodes. I'll be watching it soon. Um, but
Wait,
yeah,
but I'm
we'll.
just saying that in general. Like, I mean, that doesn't give anything away. Um,
No, I know you just
you know,
telling me that, but I'm saying if you were to say something
yeah,
about where
uh,
we currently are, I'm not currently where you're at right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
I'm not talking about the Pennywise, crossover tie-in or anything like that.
Oh, oh, that's why. So they were
Oh,
releasing it like
yeah.
weekly, so that it matched up with the. Oh, that's actually fascinating. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna talk about like his little cameo in the second to last episode or anything.
Welcome.
You know,
Now it's called Welcome to the Upside Down. Oh man, that's awesome. That's so
Gary
good.
side down.
Uh huh.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our review of Knives Out or Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified for all of our latest live stream movie reviews. I've been Austin.
I've been Josiah.
And we are the Super Cinema Bros. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, as we just
Hey.
said, we'll be reviewing the Stranger Things finale on
Mm-hmm.
Monday. So that should be
Mm-hmm.
fun. Come join us for that. There's been a
And if you
lot of
guys don't,
conversation about, you know, sorry, real quick. There's been a lot of conversation online. There's been some protests and some change.org petitions or something like that for some alleged, Duffer Brothers cut of the last couple episodes or something like that. And apparently that doesn't actually exist, but people are not happy with certain characters, and
oh,
we can
okay,
kind of get into that a little bit.
all right,
Um,
that'll be news to me.
yeah, but what I will say is that because it's been so long since, you know, the gap between season 4 and season 5 was so big that I mean, every time I watched an episode, normally I would skip past the opening theme song, but I just had to let it ride out because I was just so happy to hear it. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And I just had to let it ride out each time.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah,
I
that's
was
cool.
glad to hear it. And yeah,
Hmm. It's actually crazy. We're finally getting a closure to this series.
yeah. What's the name of the guy that played Rudy and Samwise Gamgee? He was in season 3. He was like what
Oh,
Winona
yeah.
Ryder's love interest. What's his real name in real life?
Sean Astin.
Okay, Okay, so I'm thinking somebody else. There's somebody that directed some of those episodes, other than the Duffer Brothers. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the Duffer Brothers baby for sure. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a big, wet, sloppy kiss to like, Lean on Me, Goonies, It, all of those movies from like the 80s and 90s, those
Mm-hmm.
coming of age, you know,
Yeah.
sci-fi movies.
And
So
if you like
I think,
Hideo Kojima, apparently they went to his development studio, so you can check that out on
oh
a YouTube
really?
video. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Duffer Brothers went to Hideo Kojima's studio in like
Mm-hmm.
Japan somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is he
Kojima
in Kyoto or is he in
Productions.
Tokyo?
It's probably Tokyo, but I'd have to look that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, cool story. When I lived in Japan, I worked at an English language school, private school, and at one of the campuses in Kokubunji, I had to walk by the Tatsunoko building
Ooh,
every day.
nice. Yeah.
Now, those of you who don't know Tatsunoko, they're like, what games have they made? What games would you associate them with?
I mean, they're known for a bunch of animated series. There are some games, but let's see. Was
Like
it like
GeForce,
Gotcha Man, I think is one
Pokemon.
of one of their characters. There's also that
I think
what was the name of that like robot
I think
dog and
Final
like
Fight and a lot of like the SNK games that were big in Japan but never really took off in America, except a
yeah.
few arcade ports.
Yeah, there was a game
Anyway,
like what 20 years ago now that was like Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Capcom,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So
anyway,
there.
that's just a
Hmm.
little fun fact. Since we are talking about Japan because of
Hmm.
Duffer Brothers. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next Monday. Thank you once again to Matrice and Genobi One.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your contributions.
Always
Uh,
do. Check out
yeah,
our shorts if you guys don't catch all these episodes in their fullest. We have shorts that are put up by our amazing media manager that will be picking probably a better segment than this right here where I was messing things up. Check out those shorts for some fun moments from our episodes, and we're trying to put up the speed runs also, so that you guys can watch the non spoiler analysis of our what we think the films are like. And we will get
yeah.
better and better at analyzing them quickly, succinctly. That said, we're probably never going to beat the spiritual awakening moment that we had earlier from Austin's speed run.
All right. So with that said, God bless you guys. Happy New Year.
Mm-hmm.
May the Lord bless and keep you. May his light shine upon you. Have
That's
a
right.
wonderful evening. We will see you guys in 2026.
God